We have Toby's bum. Oh, there he is. Quick appearance. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my tanning routine, my sunless tanning routine. Ever since I went to Vichy and La Roche-Posay school, I realized that sitting in the sun isn't the best thing to do, and I can't lie, that's what I've been doing most of my life. So now I decided to do sunless tanning. So I'm just going to show you the product. So I use Saint Tropez in the color dark, because if I use the regular one, or I don't know if it's the light one, but anyways, it's the white packaging one, if I use that one, it doesn't really give me a tan or like the color I'm looking for. So I use the dark one. So just even show you guys the bottle, because I think now they don't even sell it in the box, they just sell the bottle, so I'll show you guys that. And the reason that I use this is because it's really easy for me to get. They sell it at my local drugstore, and it's just more convenient for me for right now. Maybe later on when I run out of this tan, which it's actually lasted me quite some time, but maybe when I run out of the tan, then I'll move on and try other products. Also, I decided to buy the tan mitt. As you can see, it's used. But the Saint Tropez, I use the Saint Tropez tan mitt, and I recommend to use this. I found it very easy. If this is not something you would like to use, then they have those brushes, or like those paint brushes, the sponge ones, or even you can use like a really dense bristled brush for blending out like smaller areas like your wrists and your hands and stuff like that, so you can use that for that. Also in the video I'm using body cream. This was the only body cream I found during my move. It's very hectic right now still, but I'm just using the Victoria's Secret Sheer Love. And it's just a hydrating body lotion. I personally just love the scent of it. So, and it works, so it's any body lotion you have. And then you also need to make sure you exfoliate very, very well. The exfoliant I'm using, or that I used, was just plain old brown sugar, cooking brown sugar. Believe it or not, it works really good. And if you have a hard time with it like falling out of your hands, just wet it under some water and literally just scrub. Make sure you get your elbows and your wrists, all those dry places like your ankles and stuff like that. Really make sure you exfoliate those, because that's where the tan's going to go and get stuck. I'm just going to cut right into a clip and show you guys exactly what I do. So guys, like I said, I'm going to begin by starting off with the body cream. This is the Victoria's Secret body cream that I was showing you guys before. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that in my hand. And I'm going to start rubbing it on the dry places like I said. So of course my elbow is first, and my wrists. And you want to make sure you rub this in really well. So again, also do your other hand. And then we're going to go ahead and do our hands, because your hands are usually the driest part of your body. So make sure you rub that in really well. So I'm just going over my elbows and my wrists again, just to make sure it's really well rubbed in. So I'm going to go ahead and take my tanning mousse. I'm going to put on my mitt. And I'm going to start off with doing my arms. So I'm going to do 2 pumps per arm. And before I start just rubbing it in, what I kind of do is I kind of pat it on my arm. That way I kind of make it more even where I'm rubbing it. So the foam doesn't just go all on my lower arm or all on my upper arm. It makes it a little more even, so I know how much to put where. And again, you can see it's coming out really dark compared to my normal skin tone, which is good because it has an indicator to show you where you rubbed it on already. So it makes life a lot easier. And again, I'm just going to make sure I rub it in really nice so you don't see any awkward lines to show that you did self-tan. Go ahead and start doing by your wrist. When you're doing this part, try to make sure that your mitt's a little more dry so it blends a little better. Don't make sure there's not like a big blotch of foam there, so when you're rubbing it, it goes on a little more even. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing to my arm. And also at the elbows, just make sure you do the same thing. You just really need to buff that stuff in there so you don't get any darkness worst thing you want is to have really dark elbows and really dark wrists, and believe me, it has happened to me before. I also make like this claw formation with my hand, that way I can get in between my fingers and really blend in the foam. And like I said, try to make sure your mitt's a little more dry rather than having blotchy pieces of tanning foam on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing to my next arm. We're going to go ahead and move on to our chest and stomach area. I'm just going to move my chin out of the way. I probably should have taken it off, but it's okay. So when it comes to doing your chest and your stomach, again, same concept. 2 pumps will do your whole front and 2 pumps will do your whole bottom. So what I do is I do 1 pump for my chest and 1 pump for my stomach. Around your collarbone, it can get stuck around there and you're gonna have like dark collarbones. And I really just work this stuff in mainly on my chest area, and then once my mitt starts to dry, I work it up my neck. That way it's not blotchy looking and I don't have a really dark neck. I want it to blend. Also, I never do my face, just so you guys know. I usually just go ahead and use a darker foundation, or I use more bronzer all over my face rather than tanning my face, because I've never had it turn out well. And my face skin tone isn't the most even, so the last thing I want to do is make it more pigmented in one area and not so pigmented in the other area. I don't want that stuff to stand out. And whenever I go, I tend to always have on some sort of powder, whether it's a foundation powder or it's just any kind of light powder to cover my face. I always do that. So that's why I never tan my face. And the same concept goes for your legs. You also just want to make sure you do 4 pumps per leg. So 2 pumps for your upper thigh and 2 pumps again for your calf and your foot. And again, do the claw thing with your toes. That way it blends really well. So once I'm done doing that, the next day, my tan looks really great. While I'm showering, obviously you're going to see the brown color run down the drain. Don't get afraid. It's not the color, the complete color washing off. And what I do is I tend to use this product. So this is just the one I have now. They have like cheaper forms of it, like Jergens and stuff like that. And so this one is just the Biotherm. It's a bronzing jelly, and I got it in the color dark. And it's just 24-hour moisturization. So what I do is I apply it to my body, and that helps me keep my tan for longer just because it's a tanning jelly. I feel that if I just use the tanning jelly on its own, it doesn't even give me a tan at all, weirdly. So I just use it to help maintain my tan. So instead of it just lasting a week, I can prolong it to 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks, just by using this gel. Also, it works as a hydrator because it's a hydrating jelly, so I could use it as a body lotion as well. So it kind of does 2 things for one. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day, guys.